Lindsay here from createyourfuture.co. So today we have Megan with us. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Amanda. Hi, everybody.
So today, Megan's here, a coach here at Create Your Future. She's going to be reading a little bit out of the Neville book, At Your Command, and then, we're going to talk about it a bit. So, take it away. Let's hear what part of the Neville book there we're going to talk about.
Okay, there's a couple of things that I think is pretty important here. It's just about your awareness and what you can command. So you are at this very moment drawing into your world that which you are now conscious of being. Now you can see what is meant by you must be born again. If you are dissatisfied with your present expression in life, the only way to change it is to take your attention from that which seems so real to you and to rise in consciousness to that which you desire to be. You cannot serve two masters. Therefore, take your attention from one state of consciousness and place it upon another, is to die to one and live to the other. Here's something else I want to add to it. Now, here's something to always bear in mind. You cannot put new wine in old bottles or new patches upon old garments. That is, you cannot take with you into the new consciousness any part of all of your present beliefs, fears, and limitations or weights that bind you to your present level of consciousness. If you would transcend this level, you must leave behind all that is now your present self or conception of yourself. To do this, you must take your attention away from what is now your problems and limitations and dwell upon just being.
You know what? Exactly. And, two things there, right? And basically intentions will automatically, direct you from what you're like, seeing what you don't want, and automatically force you to look at what you do want. And the other thing is, right, is you mentioned that it's, about changing all of your limiting beliefs and changing who you are at the core. So, it often takes more than one intention. It's a sum total of intentions and changing your beliefs about the current situation. And if there's enough of them, that's when, things reach a tipping point, and that's when you start to get your manifestation showing up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's also, realizing your power again of who you really are. And if you know who you are, it's again, like when people are trying to manifest anything, I think there's a couple things they forget about. It's also, if you're manifesting an SP, it's about you. It's about your thoughts about them, their beliefs, relationships, but also people forget it's also about your awareness of how you think you manifest as well. So I believe Neville's also talking about leave your concept behind about what you know about life and how you think it's operated so far, because if you're going to look into how you're going to manifest, you're going to want to change all of that, and because you got to be all in, is my opinion.
Yeah.
You can't be like half this way or half that way, because it's not going to work. You have to just really dive all in, and that's what I did. And once I dived all in, my whole entire life changed.
Oh my God, it totally does. Like old Amanda years and years ago, something bad happened, dwell on it, react to it, be upset for a long time. New Amanda goes, well, I created this, I'm God, guess what? I'm changing it. I intend. So, and it's about being a different person. It's completely a lifestyle, but you're totally right. The awareness of being God is probably the most important thing, being in that productive state of knowing that you're God. And, and when I fall out of it on occasion, I'm like, no, I'm God. Everyone's me pushed out. My thoughts create this is happening. And it's sometimes the smallest little things. I remember manifesting some fried chicken from Church's was enough to get me over my money block, because I was so shocked that chicken showed up. That I was, okay, seriously, if I can do that, okay.
Right.
And it was but it, I think it's very important not to get, discouraged, but to really take stock at what all of our beliefs are, especially, when we have resistance. That means we have a lot of limiting beliefs that are sort of weighing us down. And if you think of them as all strings, every time we change one, into a different belief, we cut that string. And we need enough of those strings cut before we're going to rise up to be that person, right? And we've got to be in that productive state of God to do it, right?
Yeah, and I think people need to also understand, like Neville talks a lot about awareness, and that's just like, what are you aware of feeling? What are you aware of thinking? Not identifying, all the time with every single emotion you have or saying it's good or bad. It's just, being aware of what you're thinking. And that's when you say, what we talk about the intentions, start saying the intentions and the mental diet, because you become aware of what you're thinking and you say, I don't want to focus on that. I don't want to create that. This is what I want to create or select in my reality. Therefore, how do you do that? That's why we always talk about intentions and the mental diet, so you're very aware that all your thoughts are in line with living from the end.
Yeah. It's totally right. We have the power to make our lives good, or we have the power to make them very, very terrible. Pardon me. So, it's always that one choice. Do we get up and do we create something fun and enjoy ourselves, or do we get upset at what's not showing up in our lives, right? It's one thing too, right? Is like focusing, when we focus on lack, a lot of times people say coming from lack. It's not really coming from lack, it's focusing on lack. When we're constantly focused on what we don't have. So if we compare what we have now to what we want, we're automatically going to be focusing on what we don't have. And we don't want to do that. We just want to recognize it and shift our perception over to the intention of creating what we want. It's not a bad thing to notice what we don't have. We have to notice what we don't have to find out what we want, but we don't want to stay there.
Right. We have a lot of power, or dwell, like you said earlier, the dwelling there. Okay, yeah, you're aware of it. Now let's focus on what do we want to create here or select in our reality.
Exactly. When I notice lack, I'm like, thank you, brain, for telling me I want that. And then I create the intention and then move on from it, right? So
yeah, and I think it's not to be judging yourself either, because he talks about to give away your beliefs, your limiting beliefs. We've had them. You might have them. So if those come up, the thing that Amanda and I are really trying to stress here too is don't judge yourself for those coming up. Do not label them as good or bad. Just say, okay, this does not align with what I want, what I'm trying to manifest and focus on.
That's so funny you say that, because earlier this year I worked on one belief for so long, for like 6 months, okay? And like I really had to change it. Like, and I worked on it, and then something in my life changed and I went, oh shoot, that belief that it just took me 6 months to create, and like that's now limiting me. And then I had to change it. Yes. So it was, at the time, it was great. In fact, I worked so hard to create it. And then I decided to change the direction of some things that I was doing in my life. And then all of a sudden, with that new goal, that one belief that I worked so hard on became a block. And I was like, really? I was like, man, oh man. So then I was like, and then in that moment I realized, I'm like, these limiting beliefs aren't good nor bad. It just depends on what your goal is. If, you say Jerry never wants to talk to me again, but you don't care and don't want to talk to Jerry, it's not a block. It's like, whatever, but if you want to date Jerry, then that becomes a block, right? So I mean, it's not about, you're right, judging it. You're the only one that can judge yourself. And then the worst thing that happens when you judge yourself, everyone is you pushed out. So guess what? Everyone else is going to offer up those judgments, okay?
Right. I know.
And you're going to be like, thank you, Captain Obvious, for bringing back my negative thought that I had 10 minutes ago. I appreciate that, but hey, that just means everything's still working, right?
Very true. So always make everything mean it's working out for you.
Exactly.
Well, and the thing you said too is it is a journey. And the thing is, I've noticed, even Neville evolved in his teachings, and so we are all going to evolve, and that's okay. Like you said, okay, this worked for me 6 months ago, but guess what? It's not serving me now. So I'm going to, be aware of it and then change it to something else. And I think that's really smart for people, or very wise.
Exactly. It's all a matter of what do I want right now, and are my thoughts and beliefs aligning with that? And it's a process. It's never really a destination. It's a process, and it's about enjoying the process and not finding the process really painful, because it's a constant process, right? And constantly, when we reach one goal, trust me, it's not good enough. We want something else. That's how we're programmed to create, is we always want that next thing, that next thing, that next thing. Yeah, it's great. I manifest $1 million, but as soon as you get it, that's the way we're programmed, right? So if we're constantly going to make ourselves unhappy until we reach the goal, then we're not going to have a fun time here. But if we're still, and we know that we're God and we enjoy the process of creating, well then, you know, our manifestations and our goals are just byproducts of what we're going out and doing and loving in life, right?
Right, and which I think a lot of people think they're trying to do something. That's the other thing. You're not really. Creation's already finished, so you're selecting what you want to have. So you might as well have fun. Like, you know, you would not have this desire if you were not supposed to have it. So, you know, there's something else that Neville says. It's like, thank you, Father. You know, and that's saying thank you, because the moment you have the desire, it's pretty much finished. It's just your job to create your, you know, get yourself aligned with that. And how do you do that? Through your intentions and your mental diet.
Exactly. Get yourself out of the way, right? Whether it's, you know, and I'm good enough, I deserve it, I can have it, right? You know, and you're right. It's already created in quantum physics. Everything's already there. Everything is in every position at once. And where does it land? Where you consciously choose to make it land with your conscious thoughts. And if you're not having conscious thoughts about it in that moment, it'll land where your subconscious programmed it to be. But that was programmed through your conscious thoughts. So right. There's no way around this, you know, there's no way around it, you know. We have to be aware and on top of our thoughts, and that's the way it's done, you know. And I remember when I first learned, I was like, I'll do anything but pay attention to my thoughts. I'll do anything other. Yeah, no, I want my negative thinking. I'm like, I want to think whatever I want, and I still want what I want to show up, but I don't want to think positive about it. And it actually hurt. Like, it seriously hurt. And then finally I gave in and I was like, fine. And now I'm addicted. Like, seriously, oh no. I think like in my very first videos on this channel, there was one where I was talking about it. I was like, not gonna do it. Nah. I was like, anything but that. No. Can't make me, right? Because I mean, I'm the type of person where I do something, I do it. Like, you know, there's not half in, half out, right? It's all the way. And I was like, nope. It sounds like a lot of work.
But that's important, you know, and it's like, it kind of brings up a point too. Sometimes, like you've said before, and I get in clients, you know, will ask me, they think that you're just manifesting when you want to manifest what you want. You're manifesting all the time. We never stop manifesting. You know, we're just choosing now what we want to select in our reality, you know, but otherwise you're still manifesting anyways. It's not one of those things that you're just going to turn off, say, I'm going to stop doing this for right now.
It's going to take the rest of the day of manifesting. I'm just going to sit on the couch and, you know, think about stuff, but I'm not manifesting anything.
Yes, exactly.
Some days I wish, right? But that ain't the way it works, right?
No.
Tinfoil hats don't work either. I tried.
What, like, was that from a movie?
Yeah, you know, just so it doesn't go out, right? Like, you know,
yeah.
That don't work. So,
yes.
But, you know, I think the biggest thing, right, you know, is referring to the days where, you know, we just, you know, things aren't going our way and things are spiraling out of control, you know, is like one strategy I've talked about before is to, you know, watch a movie and say, okay, after this movie, I need back on my positive thinking, or like, for instance, you know, I'm going to go to bed and when I get up, I'm going to feel better, think positive, or I'm going to go for a walk. And when I'm done my walk, my head will be clear, you know, so little strategies, you know, to sort of, you know, get yourself back on track with a little bit of distraction also really helps as well.
Yeah, that's really great because, you know, you can fall in and out of states. I mean, that's fine. And so you're right to get back in that productive state, distraction, and then not to like, you know, think you ruined everything because
right,
get right back on it, you know. So it's
because the fact that you're thinking you ruined everything is actually ruining everything, and nothing actually ruined anything until you thought it was ruining everything.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
The universe is like writing everything down, like, okay, I got this. Whoa, you're really, yeah. Yourself up over it. There's no point there. That's a valuable time, you know. Like there's that one Neville book. It was like the wealth mindset. Like, and he talks about investing your thoughts. Okay, every moment you can either spend your thoughts or invest them, right? And okay, fine, you had a little while where it wasn't being invested, you know, but instead of beating yourself up, just get right back on it, you know, because beating yourself again is spending thoughts. It's not investing, you know. And yeah, so it's like, you know, I always say find something that helps you to get back into that state of being God and remembering who you are and, you know, with the least amount of damage possible that we can make out there. But, you know, nonetheless, like sometimes it won't even show up if you catch it soon enough. So, yeah. You know, yeah. That is awesome. Well, thank you for coming on and reading that Neville book. I think the part in there, I think it was great. Awesome. I'm going to say this was an awesome video, guys, like 100%. So subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I love talking like this. This is awesome.
I know, me too. This is great. Well, thank you guys for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And again, if you're looking for sessions with Megan, check out the description below. You can definitely sign up with her there. And we'll see you guys later in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.